Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. My name is Katie. This is Atelier Nekozuki, and we are going to get prepped on stuff. What are we getting prepped? We're doing webbing, and then we're going to do the not broadcasting through to YouTube yet. There we go. Nope. There we go. Now it is. All right. We're doing the webbing, and then we're going to do the pairing up, and then we're going to do the cut downs of the actual exteriors and the interiors and all the things. So that, well, I don't know if we'll probably won't get that done today, tonight, but we will. We're going to try our best. I had a busy day with the kids today. We did all of the errands, which included going to get stuff, like supplies, because I'm out of D-rings otherwise. Or I was out of D-rings. I am no longer out of D-rings, so that's exciting. And then IKEA for the Drona boxes, which are going to start being the backup stock boxes at shows. I'm like, why did this stuff takes so long? Because we also went to Market Spot and we did a drop off there. So if you're looking for a restock of items at Market Spot, they're dropped off and they are there. I don't know what else to tell you. They're available. But yeah, it was late because I started late. I don't think we actually left for the city until about like 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was like a nice, chill morning, and then the kids fell asleep in the Jeep on the way home. So I still had a nice transition time though, because my youngest went to bed, and then my eldest actually took a little bit to fall asleep. So that's why I'm actually on a little bit earlier than I have been, although not a significant number earlier, to be honest. Well, let's be real. So I am still tired though, because that was a long day. But yeah, we're gonna crank along on this. I will not be on in the morning because the kiddos have a field trip tomorrow, so we're gonna do that, and then I'll be on in the afternoon. So basically them going for their field trips means I will actually go to the gym for my weights and run tomorrow morning instead of skipping it like I typically do. So considering that we're like 5 weeks out from the marathon and the half that I'm going to be running, probably a good idea. Right, so we have not paired up any of these black tabs here that I cut last night, but I was kind of like, well, we've got the brown webbing, excuse me. Now all of these are going to get matched up with the black D-ring tabs that I got in Calgary today. So I may as well just do the rest of the webbing, and then we're ready to roll for the remainder of the steps. Actually, the really cool thing, so I thought that I recognized the woman that was at Market Spot, and she said that she had previously worked at University Theaters, and then I found out that we had actually worked together. It's like, I was for sure, I thought that I recognized her, but then yeah, we chatted today, and I'm like, did you work here during that time? And she's like, yes, I did. And I'm like, okay, I did recognize you from there then. So that was kind of cool. Actually really cool. All right. So now that is off and unplugged, and then I'm going to move it into the back there so I don't get burnt on it, and hopefully the cat doesn't jump up and get burnt on it, and blah 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 blah. I do not have any more room on my webbing shelf right now because I restocked everything that was either low or out. So I don't know what I'm actually going to do with this roll, but I can always figure that out later. Okay, there's the heat knife out of the way, and actually let's just grab this stack of brown bags. Get this done right away so I don't have to worry about it later. Nice restocked hardware bin here, which is exciting. Well, at least for that color. I'll make my supply orders later for the other colors, because realistically I should be able to surf through on these. Well, we're not going to finish these before peace, or all of these before peace. So I'll make the supply order. I should make the supply order now. I need to order lining. That is the one that really needs to happen here. Like, really, really. Lining and pocket and canvas. Also had a total brainwave today that what I should be doing is doing a solid exterior with like waxed canvas or something, and the interior with Japanese fabric, which would look amazing. That'll be a project that we work on in the fall at this point. Long-term projects. So, and it will be waxed canvas or something of that nature, because I do not want to work with vinyl, and I don't really want the learning curve of sewing leather. So currently the thing about that is finding a supplier for waxed canvas that doesn't charge an arm and a leg. Yeah. And actually is in Canada and not the States. So I think the place that I'm actually buying my canvas and fabric, like other fabrics from, is a good option. They're fairly muted colors, but I think that'll work for like bags in general. Although what inspired this like thought brainwave this morning was someone posting like a bunch of bright waxed canvas bags on Instagram, and they were gorgeous, like absolutely spectacular. Okay, I cut one too many sets of brown D-ring tabs, but that's okay. They can go join the other ones that I overcut. I know for sure that I cut too many black D-ring tabs last night, so it's all good. They'll get used eventually. I'm not too worried about it. All right, it saves me a little bit of work next round, right? So, excuse me. All right, I'm going to roll this back up, and yeah, this tape, it looks like, is actually holding a like seam on this roll, which is kind of annoying, because I'm like, okay, so where's that seam at, or that like gap actually going to pop up when I'm like making? So, oh well. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's kind of like finding a knot in your yarn, right? There's probably like a very specific industry standard for how many breaks you can have in a certain amount. I think these are like 50-yard rolls, so. Alright, I do not have a pin for the end, and for some reason the little clippy clasp that actually comes with the rolls is already gone. And it doesn't fit up there anyway, so we're just gonna I'm gonna pop it in the place that doesn't belong. Just get it out of here. And then we're going to, okay, so there's a pile here to do, and then there's a pile here to do. Since these are here and a little bit easier to access, I'm going to start here. I don't know. Like I said, I make the rules. I don't always follow them. Okay. So these will need some work in the fact that we're going to need to do the interior. So what I've decided is we are going to go through and actually do all the wedging cuts as well, because my thought process is I may as well do, actually no, that is not, no, we're not going to do all the wedging cuts. We're going to do all the interior wedging cuts. My thought process was I was also going to do all the canvas wedging cuts, but no, let's actually get to the sewing and see where we kind of get with sewing, and then we'll start doing the wedging cuts. I will do all the wedging cuts on the interior, because the wedge on the interior actually the wedging on the interior determines where the interior pockets are placed. So I will go in and do the interior wedging. Plus I can like line up a bunch of those layers and clip them at the same time, so that's no big deal. Right, there we go. Just have to find my template for it, which I think is out in the sewing table. So, because I normally do it while I'm sitting at my desk sewing, but right now once I am done this stuff, I want to be done this stuff and just go sit at the sewing table and sew and sew and sew and sew and sew and sew. You get the message. And sew. Make it so. That joke, what popped into my head was Picard, but it also made me think of the Make It Rain jokes, so that was a bad combo of those two, I guess. And then we'll have to cut. So we'll have to wrap up the cutting of the exteriors and the cutting of the interiors and the cutting of the wedging on the interiors, and then it'll be interfacing. So the interfacing will be cut and fused at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. And I have 1 week, 1 whole week left. Oh, I need to order some magnetic like LED lights for shelves, for that set of shelves that I'm using for the Kato actually. And then I probably should look at getting a couple of those shelves of my own instead of just borrowing Caroline's, because I think they'd be super useful at Knit City. But there is like a liquidation wholesaler person here in Calgary, so, well, in Calgary, not here in Cochrane, that I can buy them from. I know the grid wall works too, but it's like this shelf is able to sit independently. Although I guess I could set up like a wall. I gotta figure that out. Gotta figure that out actually for Peace too, because Peace has, I can set up something in the middle of the like booth, because now we have 20 feet and a corner. So I guess I'll have to sit down and maybe do a bit of a sketch on that too, because I don't think I have power, so I'm not gonna bring lights. Actually, does anyone know or have handy access to something that can, a magic box that can tell us if there are like LED rechargeable bulbs that can like screw into lamp sockets? Because like it would be really cool if I could find an LED bulb that would go into my current lamps, but my lamps wouldn't have to be plugged in. Because I have a whole setup for getting my lamps attached to my grid wall and everything like that. A whole jerry-rigged situation, of course, but you know, that's how it goes. Some of their caps are getting a little bit careworn though, so it might be time to clean them up and paint them anyway. Also had them for like probably close, well, oh no, I wouldn't have had them at my first Knit City, which was 2015, because I rented a light there and then I went never again because it gave me such a raging headache for the weekend. That was amazing. And it was also like a very spotlight, like just like one spot only. That was also just my baby booth though, and it was like, yeah. That was an intense weekend though. Still is always an intense weekend, but just like thinking back to like being there for the first time and stuff like that. Because I'd never even been as like an attendee, because it's one of those situations where I can't justify the expense to go out and spend more money. I can only really like, I just realized that this is getting folded over because my zipper is too low. Anyway, I personally can't justify the cost of just going out by myself. Maybe now I could. I couldn't at the time. No, I couldn't at this time either. I just thought of that. But, the only way I've been able to justify going out to Knit City, Vancouver is to be a vendor. So I didn't know what to expect at all. Biggest show I'd ever done. Obviously went well enough that I'm still going back. But, I just remember that horrendous light. It was terrible. And it gave both me and my friend a horrendous headache for the weekend too. So it wasn't just me being sensitive to the light. I don't even know what it was. I think it was the bulb might have given us a headache. Or it could have been the fact that just the stress and anticipation leading up into the event as well just got to me or something. Who knows, right? No, I can't power down already. Just keep clipping, just keep. Do we not already? I swear I just saw this one. Did I not? Didn't I just? Oh, no, okay. Oh, I was looking at this one last night to figure out if I wanted to do rainbow with it or not, and I decided against the rainbow maybe? I don't know. I think I also confused it with that neon floral explosion sort of one. I don't know what happened there. I could have sworn I already had this one in the pile, which is weird. I shouldn't have this one in the pile, but whatever. Tired brain. And this is it on a decent day. Although honestly the kids were, and this is fine, but it is part of why the brain is tired is it's they were very chatty today. They had lots of questions, and that's awesome. I definitely want to encourage that, but my brain's whew, and shutdown time. So let's come talk on YouTube. Yes, that was a little bit of sarcasm, but also just yeah. I love them to bits. Oh my goodness, they were very talkative today. And all the power to childcare workers and teachers and all of the other people who have to deal with them day in and day out for all of us. And yes, these packages, I've discussed this before, but these packages do have to come apart when I actually do all the cutting for the exterior so that everything matches up, blah, blah, blah. But this is going to help keep them together until I get them sewn together in such a way that it is irretrievable fact that they are smashed together, basically, because otherwise I'm going to be out at the sewing table do these go together? Do these go together? Do these go together? What did I intend for these? And it's annoying for me. So I can't imagine how it is as a viewer, especially if you've watched the live streams recently and you remember what I was pairing up. Also love the fact that the face cam is essentially also the webcam. So anyway. The big camera and the small camera are basically the same view tonight. Although, at least the big camera are able to see down onto the desk and the stuff that I'm working on. So that's at least a slight improvement. No. Oh. Okay, that one just like spontaneously combusted. Apparently it's like, that is too much for me to hold, woman. No way in heck am I doing that. Alright, so maybe we'll use 2 clips for it. Must be because it's like a cotton linen blend. And the drawstring is actually not up there anyway. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Let's clip this to here. And then we'll clip everything together because, yeah, something's up with that one that it's like a little bit thicker and not happy. Even that second clip is not, or that set of clips is not super happy about the situation. I'm so excited to work with this paw print fabric for the pockets. So those are all little paw prints in there. Super cute. Oh, there's the last one for the brown. Okay, I knew I had 5. Apparently, it just decided it was going to casually lounge over there instead of here. Okay, there is an extra cut of white, which I knew about. It's good. Okay, we're gonna pop that there. And then this is the extra set of brown tabs that we hadn't used. They're back here now. Probably should have bought 2 sets of the D-rings. Oops. I didn't even think of that, actually. I don't know why I got a 3rd one, but alright. Tired brains. Tired brains. So yeah, so what I'm trying to decide now, yeah, see that one clipped fine. So I don't know what it is about that floral one. It must just be because it's cotton linen. So maybe with this one we won't even unclip it. We'll just clip the stuff to the, like a top layer basically. Anyway, what I have to figure out is when I get to the sewing table, how do I want to sew the things? Basically that question, meaning like how do I want to make sure that these packages stay together, basically. Thinking the first thing I'm going to do is I will sew all the pockets and I will do the like drawstring, the like closing seam so there's no raw edges on the drawstring edges. I think that's the first thing I probably should do. And then I think after that I will, because again you still have to keep it together. Oh, and then we can, no, you can't do that. Yes, I can. No, I can't. It's gonna be like I could baste together the drawstring tails and top stitch the pockets, which yes, I could actually do. The original thought being like I could but I could what? My brains, they're done for the day. This is probably not stuff that I should be deciding right now because it's the end of day. How is this going to be easiest? Because like I put all this effort into keeping this all together until it goes to the sewing table, and that's like because I like streamline it. How am I going to do this? So why did I not just grab a big fistful of these to like my questions that will never be answered. And also I've only got like 3 more, so I did not need a massive pile like that. That's the kind of pile that I need at the beginning. Also I'm gonna bring these clips to the front so that I'm, rather than having to like reach behind me consistently. Yeah, how am I gonna do this? Aha. Okay, so So we will this only works for the white thread ones. Does not work for the black thread ones. But for the white thread ones, what we can do is I can do a, what can I do? Brain. What popped into my head is that I could do the drawstring channel and then sew the pockets, because they need pocket sewing at the bottom to make them into a pocket, and then they'll need top stitching. Which means that they can like, okay, that was very distracting. I don't know where my train of thought was going. Yeah, I just gotta figure it out. What I can do is I can sew, okay. So we'll start with the pockets and the drawstring channels because we can keep them together. And then we'll go in and do the canvas bottom to the exterior and sew the pocket to the matching interior. Because we know what the drawstrings are because they all match the exterior fabric this round. They don't always, but this round they do. I'm not going to fold this. I'm just going to put the D-rings. No, I have to fold them so that the D-rings are held. Duh. Herder, my brains. I might need to actually grab the clip bin instead of like unclipping all of these. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Clip bin is over there. Hopefully I've got, no, it's not. Yes, it is. There it is. It's the shelf above. Okay, so that was the extras left over that we didn't get everything done for last night because I ran out of stamina, oomph, willpower, whatever you want to call it, spoons. No. Yes, a bit. I want to co-opt a term though. So, oomph. I ran out of oomph last night. Right. Okay, I'm going to grab the clip bin because if I can just clip them, then that makes way more sense. I don't know, like I said, why I didn't do that before. That clip is toast. Just like self-imploded. Got a bunch of like zipper pieces in here that don't need to be in there. There we go. Okay, now this is the pile of D-ring tabs that I decided on last night. Some of these might change, who knows. It's not like they're set in stone until they get sewn in, so this one ended up being rainbow. Except I do have to make sure, okay, so there's like 4 from Emmeline bags, and then there's 2 from the supplier I have with AliExpress, and they're slightly different weights. Okay, so those are the ones that match. The first set I grabbed did not. One was from Emmeline and one was from AliExpress, and you can tell the difference in their gauge. Just make sure that they match. Doesn't really matter as long as they match. Okay. Clip. Up. Down. Pretty sure these I went with gunmetal for these guys. For this one. For a little bit of shine, especially because this is not like true black, but a little bit more of an off black charcoal tone. Yeah, okay. So, just so I've got this in my brain, I am going to sew white thread drawstring channels and pockets together. And then I'm going to baste the drawstring channels and top stitch the gold. This is gold D-ring tabs. Yeah, I'm going to baste the drawstring channels and top stitch the pockets. This will only work with white thread drawstring channels. So I don't know if like something like this would be white or not. And I will make those decisions as we're doing the last prep of like finalizing the exterior cuts and everything like that. Actually, not even then. We will not have to finalize that until I'm doing interfacing. There's so many steps between now and then. I really should have let the whole "you're out of D-rings" thing hold me back a little bit and like been a little bit sane about this. But where would the fun begin that? Where? I ask where. I think this is gold. No, that's not gold. I'm going to put actually the matte black with this. If we end up shuffling a few to matte black, it's not a big deal because obviously we've got lots of matte black. And if we don't use up all of the D-ring tabs that I've got set aside here, whatever. Like I said, it's not set in stone until it's like sewn in. Although it does feel like this would have been one of the ones I would have chosen matte black for. Oh, goodness gracious. That's set to fall over soon, that's for sure. I think this was bronze. No. I'm going to do the matte black with these guys. This one too. I know for sure the next one's gold. And then I think we'll do sweater cats with bronze. Because it's that like patchwork and it's got the highlights of the gold. So all of these ones get a gold set of gold D-ring tabs. Gold colored. Part why I want to also restock on the webbing is so that this week coming up I can hopefully get some webbing straps done because they are in short supply as well because they sold really well at Shindig actually. So I've had a not that I actually sold them well at Shindig was me mentioning them and then them being out in the dump bin that held all like some of the extra large box bag stock and the straps and the triangle pouches. Whatever works, right? So maybe we'll just do that again. For Dawson. I wasn't actually planning to bring the dump bin, but that would make sense now. I think this was gold. The gold looks good with it because of the red tone. I'm just glad my supplier in Calgary actually had the D-rings that I had a few years ago because it's just like that is making this a more streamlined and easier process, that's for sure. This one needs black. Hey, Flames Blonde. How are you, buddy? Hi. Yeah, I know. You're a pretty boy. Pretty boy. Hello, how are you? Hey, bud. Yeah, you're fluffy. You fluffy boy. Hey. I know, we were out of the house all day. Was it a good break from the kids? Probably, hey? Probably was fairly glorious. I just realized I don't have to work with these over here. It's like I've got all this desk space over here. So let's Okay. Anyway, there's all this desk space over there, so why am I working from the back there? Hi. These little bald spots from his mats that we've had to cut out. You've got another big mat there. When did that happen? Okay. Well, we'll get you fixed up here soon. I don't remember what I put with this. I feel like it was probably bronze for some reason. No. whatever. Gunmetal. I'm going to set this one aside for a couple minutes because I do feel like that one was actually set aside for a special color. I don't remember. I do know that the Daruma potato cats needed gold because they're lucky cats. Well, they're emulating lucky cats. They're kind of like a mashup between Daruma and Maneki Neko. So the Daruma are the little wish dolls that you make a wish on, and then when your wish comes true, you fill in, like, so you make a wish, fill in an eye. When the wish comes true, you fill in the other eye, and then you get a new Daruma for your new wishes. Anyway, this one is kind of a mashup. I don't know why I unclipped it. That's why we've got second sets of clips. It's a mashup between the lucky cat and the Maneki Neko, like the waving, beckoning cat. And the Daruma, so they need gold. Gold deering tabs. Gone forever. Or at least until I tidy up the room. Which, who knows when that's going to happen at this point. Probably when I'm very close to losing my mind about everything that's in here. Which is inching closer right now by the day. It's just like, if I get bothered by the mess, it is time. Past time, to be honest. It's not like we didn't tidy up already, but I got like probably 2/3 of the way through and then got bored, distracted, needed to start working on something, like had to start working on something else. Obviously, I could have started working on this stuff far earlier than right now, but that also didn't happen, so that's okay. I don't know what bothers Dallas, but it's also like, if it's not messy, then I am not working. Which would you prefer? I have not established systems for the business because it's like, it's constantly changing what needs to be done, and so what needs to be tidied up, and like the kids keep growing, and so they end up being able to get into stuff that I don't expect all the time. Yeah. They're moving targets for like growth spurts. Oh, that slowed down a little bit recently, and that's nice because I haven't had to keep moving my shears back by like a foot every 2 weeks. Except they're dexterous enough to like climb up on the sewing chair and get into my stuff that way instead. Yay. They really want to help, but they're both far too young. And I am scared enough of the sewing machine needle around my fingers, and the rotary cutter, and the heat knife, and yeah. This is why when they start coming into my space, because usually so it's kind of like, the room kind of is almost kid zone with some stock and like a desk and stuff like that. And then there's like, it's an invisible line of like where they kind of shouldn't cross for work stuff for me. And it's like when they start crossing that line regularly, it's like, nope, time to go upstairs. Stop encroaching on the space. Okay, next step is trimming all of these bags to their correct widths, getting the drawstrings cut, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it looks like I actually did pair up a lot more bags with gold last night than I did today, which is interesting because usually I like using the gold shinies. That's okay. Minutes in. It is just barely after. Oh, no. Okay, so there's the two mixed. Okay, so wherever the other ones are, I mentioned it on the fans, I think. No, those are the same weight. No, they're not. Are they? No, that's it right there, I think. It's like infinitesimally different. This is definitely an M-line bag one, though. Like, it's hard to describe unless you're actually holding them, to be honest. Yeah, okay, there they are. Those two match and those two match. So that means that the ones that are further in also match then. Could anyone have actually told that? Maybe? I don't know. Probably not. Besides the fact that I've broadcasted on the internet. It's really interesting, though, that I picked that up just from picking them up from the fabric, to be honest. And I didn't notice it earlier, even though I made a comment about it being something that I had to pay attention to. Is that right? No, that's still not right. Okay, so what I'm going to do then... Oh, no, that is definitely not right. Okay, so we're going to set those two aside. We're just going to grab a new set, because I have more of these ones available. There we go. Problem solved, and then I'll pull the other two, and I'll put them in different bins. The problem is I took them out of their plastic last night, so I should have just left them in the plastic. I should know better. Blah, blah, blah. Now the other question is are these the same or are they different as well? No, those look like they're the same. What told me on the other ones was the weld. Yeah, these are the same. Okay, sweet. The weld is fine on both of them. They just have obviously been done by different people, so. Although I guess realistically, I may have just ended up with a full random round of like stuff, so. Actually, I wonder if these are like welded by people or if they're welded by machine. That would be interesting to find out, because it feels like it's like we'll go into a wire folding mold probably, and then just get tapped with like a little tiny weld. So now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. All right, we did not use anywhere near as many bronze as I had planned, so that means that I will use the bronze actually for this pink one that's on my lap. Bronze or gold. But that's fine. I'm curious what ones. I could go back and watch the stream. I am not going back and watching the stream to figure that out, though. No way in heck. I'm like watching myself on video anyway, and once we start sewing, it's a moot point anyway. All right. A few spare of the different colors. We've got the rainbow still. Got the matte black. We don't have any more gunmetal. And we've got a bunch of spare. Oh, okay. Do the last one. Anyway, we still have a bunch of spare webbing. I am going to use bronze for this one because I think that's going to look the best. Yeah. Yeah, I think. No, let's go with black. I'm just like looking at it again, and it's like it would be jarring to do that. So, all right. I am not even going to clip these on here because we are going to open it up and cut it down. Now the question is should I cut these down? No, because oh my goodness. Should I cut these down in multiples because I can? Yes. Especially in the case of these like ones where it's like it's just paw prints and stuff like that. So what I should no. Nope, that's more work than what we need to do right now. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pick up this clip so I can't step on it. And then we're going to get the rotary cutter and we're going to get the shears because both of those, well, it's just handy, or it's just good to have both of them on hand. Okay, especially the rotary cutter. We're going to put the mic cable on the other side because reasons, and then I need the ruler, which is over here. So I'll bring the mic cable back over this way. Do do do. And then we'll come back with it. Dun, dun, dun. Need to clean up a bunch of little like zipper pieces. I don't know why. I think I know why there's a bunch of zipper pieces in the clip bucket, but whatever. Clip bin, I guess. Okay, these actually do need to move because they're becoming a tripping hazard. Oh hey, there's another clip. Empty bolts. I'm going to keep those around for a little bit and see if I can make them work for the zippers, although I don't think I can. We'll see. Okay, so now what happens is we will unclip. So this is a white paw lining with black. All right, and I need the lining too because it needs to be matched up for width. So actually we're just gonna do these one. No, that's a pain in the butt. Let's do these like 2, 3, 4. Let's do them 4-ish at a time. Just because then like the packages mostly match up. It's fairly obvious where all of the D-ring tabs match up with. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm making that up. I don't know if this actually works or not, but we'll try it. 1, 2. And now that I've done it this way, what I will do, well, if I don't already have them cut down in future, which I should, but as always, I'm running out of time, or was running out of time. What I'll do is I will just split off whatever I need to like clean up instead of clipping the D-ring tabs to them at the same time, but whatever. Again, like I said, this whole like making up packages of stuff for this sort of thing is new this year. It is a riff on what I did last year, and so it's got a big learning curve because why would it not have a big learning curve? And it's always in these like times of like show prep when you're trying to do so many, or I'm trying to do so many, that like efficiencies obviously come up, or inefficiencies come up as well, both. Okay, so I am going to do it where I'm just do the lining, because that just makes sense in my brain. So we're going to do the width cut first, and then I will do the, because this is like ½ inch larger than it needs to be. And what this is going to resolve is like issues with actually putting the lining into the bag at the end. So we're going to do this cut, then we'll cut it in half because that has to happen as well. And then we will do the boxing cuts because that makes sense to me. All right, so basically we're going to just square it up on this inch line because why not? I'm also going to line everything up here. Now I know they should be approximately the right height, so I'm not going to worry about that part. We're just going to worry about cleaning up the sides here. This side isn't too bad. It's mostly on the other side, but I would prefer to work with square sides, or as like squares we can make them basically. Okay, so that one, and then we're going to, because those should all be even or mostly even at this point. And then I'm going to go on the generous side of the ½ inch mark here by like a tick, not even a like, I don't even think that was a 1/16 of an inch. So, okay, There's that done, and then we'll turn them. It looks like they should all be mostly lined up. And we can just cut them down the middle here with the shears. And yes, I have to do this with every single set. I should actually go grab the template for the wedges, because then we can just cut through all 4 of these at the same time, because it's like super thin and chill quilt cotton and shouldn't fight back too hard compared to like cutting like 8 layers of cotton linen blend is the comparison basically. All right, so we have moved on from the webbing finally. It didn't actually take that long. It just feels like it took forever because it took 2 like live stream sessions, although I wasn't on that long last night. So I'm gonna go grab the template for these so that I can just mark it out, and then we'll do the cuts before we get these all paired off again. So just give me 1 second. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay, so I actually just found the old template that I was using for the quilt cotton, which looks like it should work. Ooh, beep, 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 beep. Honestly, I think I'm just going to, it's so crinkled, we're just going to upcycle it into the template for the wedge now. This is basically what happens. And realistically, I don't really need a template for the quilt cotton because it's like, it's just very specific measurements. Okay. It's just like, I better make sure that I know that what the actual measurement for this is before I start marking this paper. And no, I'm not going to mark it right on the edge because I am still going to keep this template because you never know when it's going to come in handy. Alright, that took too much brain effort to figure out, to be honest. Okay, Everything is squared up, except for there. There we go. Squared. Good. Done. And if you're like, Katie, you're always talking about like efficiency of time, so why are you cutting this out right now? Because this is going to save me a crap ton of time instead of constantly having to go with the ruler in and like do exactly what I just did of like which direction which direction do I put this so that I can get my measurement? Where are the measuring lines? That's usually the other question, is it's like, and then the next question is how big am I supposed to cut it again? So trust me, this is going to save me a lot of grief. I need to do this for the big bag as well, because where the large box bag needs a new template as well. Although digging into the drawer where I thought this template was, sweet, nice new square. I think I found another one for the large box bag, so I'll have to go check that and see. Alright, so what that does now, so this looks like, this is the width here, right? Yes, okay. So we're going to line everything back up again, because obviously moving everything around makes it shimmy and shake. Maybe I should do the canvas too. Because here's the thing, the actual like sewing together of this bag, as much as I say it's like 2 bags worth of sewing, which it still is, this doesn't change anything. But it's all this like extra work that we're doing right now that makes this a longer haul project. So maybe we should do the canvas, and then it's just done, and we can just, I don't have to stop for anything except leather. Which kind of makes sense, because then I can judge it based on whatever ones I actually get finished. I need to make the decision fast. Yeah, we should cut the canvas, I think. Right into the bag for my friend. I should probably keep some of these squares for like fillers, but I make so many of them. And it's not like I can't just go, hey Tara, can I have some of this back, please? Okay, we're gonna cut the canvas. So let's just... my brains. Okay. Cut the canvas. Then repair it with the pockets. Actually, I can clip the D-ring tabs to the pockets. This just feels like a waste of like everything we've just done to make sure everything's together. So in future, what we'll do is this will be the step that goes in between webbing will be the last step before we move out to the sewing studio. That's what will help keep this more streamlined. Okay, and then it doesn't really matter because we're not sewing it yet. One side of this canvas is ever so slightly shinier, so typically I do try to do the marking and blah-de-blahs on the... Oh, look at that, it's not the right width. Right, so this needs to be trimmed down too. So yeah, good call to actually do the wedges right now then as well. So then we can just do all of the finessing we need to do right now. Okay, this actually needs to go this way. I think that needs to actually be trimmed down on the bottom a little bit too, because it's still got the ratty selvage. Yes, it does. That piece is incredibly not ready to get used. Yeah, okay. And there is still enough on it to trim everything down that needs to be trimmed down. Excellent. Because that hangs out over there. And that is fine there. So we just need to square down the top of this. And we'll throw back. This is partly because, or all because, wait. Scoot that way. There we go. Then we're going to use that as the lineup. Anyway, this is all because I was actually using the like electric rotary cutter, and so it was fine, except I think I need to change the blade because it's like it is fighting a little bit with these thicker layers, which I guess I would be too. You and me both. Rotary cutter. Not this rotary cutter, the electric rotary cutter. That was very close by my finger. Eek. I don't know why I'm not just throwing those in the bin or in the bag to go, but you know what? They can go in now. Goodbye. Okay. We're going to line it up on that one because that is the one that's easy to do math from. These are all squared up on that edge. So we'll square everything up on that edge as well together. My rotary cutter will not be able to deal with this, but whatever. It will deal with it. Probably should change the blade. That needs to be. That was not a square cut. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but it definitely shouldn't wander out by as much as it just did, if I can see it with the naked eye. Yeah, we're good now. Okay. Now, obviously, we will not be able to shear through all of these with the shears, so we're just going to mark as many as we can. Actually, did I layer my grays? I did not. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll mark the 2 grays. And then I will... Does that actually work? Hey, it works. Not very well, so I think we'll grab the... Good. I'm like, I better have air erasing markers in here. Or we could use the chalk too, but actually I think I found my haha, I did. I was like out there looking earlier, and now I know I saw my Taylor's chalk, or box of Taylor's chalk as well. But now I can't for the life of me see it. Pretty sure it was in here. Or maybe like not in here specifically, but like in the sewing studio area. Obviously it is somewhere, but I looked in like the drawers, which is where I was expecting it to be, and it was not there. So now I need to find it, because Taylor's chalk that is not sharp is annoying, and a lot of my Taylor's chalk is not sharp. Zip and zip. Okay, that marked well enough. How are we going? Okay, let's see if the shears will go through this. I don't think they will, and I don't think I have the hand strength to do this many nope. We're not even going to go further. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to mark both gray. And we'll try it over a black, and then if that doesn't work, we'll just do these all individually, because that's what we would do normally anyway. Okay, so 1, 2. What did we end up only bringing? Okay. I guess we decided to only do 4 at a time, or 4 this time at least. Although I definitely can't do more than 4 layers of canvas, so that's good to know. So when we're doing this, we need to do pairs of... Actually, I should save the canvas. It could be put together for backing coasters. Alright, now we are not clipping it together until we are done all the other work. I need to make better note of where the gray canvases are going. Oh, actually, never mind. I see. I see where they're going. This is part of why we're going to swap to a black only canvas bottom. Because it is less just admin work in some ways even. Alright. Four out of 109. And they still need interfacing. Oh, I just remembered that they still need interfacing. Oh, no. These bags. Oh, well. I know. Again, so if you're not familiar, or if you haven't seen my last couple podcasts, I've been like complaining about this sort of stuff. And then I found a really good term for it. My kids and I, Jory John wrote a book called Cat Problems. It's been on my list for a while to read. And finally got it from the library a couple months ago. And so how I've started referring to the things of like, this really isn't a complaint. I've totally done it to myself. Or like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. So I started calling them cat problems. In the book, the cat is like, basically a whiny little, just whiny. He's a whiny cat. And one of the things that it reminds me of is this cat standing at their food bowl going, dry food, I asked for wet food, not dry food, wet food. And so whenever I'm complaining about stuff like, and now they need interfacing, that's what it reminds me of. Stupid cat. And cat problems. Okay. Anyway, now that I'm done that rant, let's get this cut. So this is the side that I actually want to use for drawstrings. So we're going to do a fancy flip. We're going to line up this smallest fabric selvage to that line, because that is the line that is easy to do math from, again. And then we're going to cut it right here. Now this is the place where I would be able to cut more layers. However, due to the fact that we need to match everything back up again a cat problem, totally created by myself, we will not be doing that. Okay. Then I am going to trim down this side as well, just because we did such a nice job trimming down all that other stuff so that it was the proper width. It'd be hypocritical of me to like leave that on that side while everything else is cut down nice. Now, the glorious thing about this is we just cut these in half. Now, these bags are ready to go for interfacing cuts. Which I was actually thinking about the other day. I'm like, that was one of the nice things about when I ironed the interfacing on, is it's just like I laid out, or I would bring the interfacing roll out to the ironing board, unroll it on the ironing board, and just like iron it. And then I would cut it all out afterwards. I guess I could still do that and then do like an extra press with the steam press afterwards. But that seems like a lot of extra work. It's not happening. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we're going to take the drawstring channels that are not prepared to be drawstring channels yet, because they need to be. Alright, bud, I'm going to trim this mat out. Give me 1 second. Make sure that we don't have your skin. There we go. A little elbow mat that I felt yesterday but didn't get a chance to get to yet. This cat, I swear, because he's shedding right now, you look at him the wrong way and he mats. But he also does not like being groomed with a brush. He's not very good with this either, typically. But he knows typically that when I'm working on a mat to get it out. There. Also don't want to like clip his skin either, obviously, because that's not fun for either of us. Okay. Good. More or less, hey? Better. That's that big chunk off at least. Okay, bud. So what we got to do now is I'm going to unfold all these, and then I cut the drawstring channels down from this. Now, I do typically like to go in a little bit on their width, just because then if I'm like not as generous on the drawstring fold as I need to be, they still fit within the, go for it, there you go, they still fit within the bag correctly, because you want a little gap between your like drawstring channels, obviously, so that you can like actually drawstring it correctly. So if you're just joining me, what we're working on right now is getting Kato drawstring bags done. The Kato project bag pattern is a pattern by Kando or Kando Crafts, Kandou. And I use all Japanese fabrics from Tokyo and Kyoto. And so what we're doing right now is complaining about the fact that I've left myself so much work when I'm heading out for a show in like a week, and calling it cat problems, because that's funny to me. Dry food, I want wet food. All right. So I'm gonna cut it like 75, like 3/4 of an inch smaller. And then all of these are large enough to do something with. These would actually be really good to start the middles of stuff with a little bit. Now, sometimes I will cut these down with the rotary cutter, but since we've got them all nice and folded, I'm just going to take the shears to them. The rotary cutter will be faster for the next round, and that's what we'll do there. I'm just proving to myself again that the rotary cutter is way faster. Okay, so now at this point, I am annoyed with myself enough, especially since these are all going to need to be interfaced tomorrow, that we are going to live dangerously and not clip everything exactly back together. And just, actually I know what I can do is I can like at least pair up the drawstring with the canvas that I plan to use, because drawstrings don't need to be interfaced, just the uppers. And then what I can do is I can just leave these out, and we don't need to go through the whole rigmarole of like this again for a little bit, at least until they're interfaced. And then, yeah, actually that's what we'll do. Okay, so there's that. And then we've got this one that goes here, because what did I say I decided? We're going to sew the pockets together, and then we're going to do the like edge here of the drawstring channels so that they're folded under. So I'll need these two pieces first, and then we're going to do top stitch the pockets and baste the drawstring channels. And then we're going to do the canvas bottom to the exterior and sew the pocket, at least the first line of pocket stitching, onto the interior. I know this sounds super convoluted, but like I lose a lot of time on this project when I transfer them from here over to there. Obviously you're seeing that a little bit already in the fact that it's like trying to keep everything paired up. It's like, Okay, in this case, we are not going to also take the beige lining. We're going to stick with the white linings for now, and just because that makes this whole experience easier as well. And then, so like that's a beige lining. So we'll do the beige lining with the paw pockets afterwards. Although I don't think we have very many more white linings with paw pockets. Damn it. Okay. Or at least it's going to take some time to dig through and find them, obviously. Okay. And then these are marble blue, and they're already partially ready. Marble blues. Okay, so we're going to pop those into the back there, and we'll deal with them later, but that's fine. Okay. Here's another white. Beige, beige. But white was the fabric that we had the least amount of, so this isn't surprising that there's not that many in here necessarily. Okay. Split them up by their pockets again because they've been split up by webbing color this time. Okay, so maybe what we need to do is we'll do webbing is the last thing. So we'll split them up by pocket color and then work from there. I don't know. Like I said, there's always a learning curve right now because inefficiencies aren't really like demonstrated until you're in it like this. Okay, the rest of these are, oh no, that's not true. There may be some more in here. I'm like, the rest of these aren't ones with paws. Although the majority of cats, I think, ended up, or all the, no, this is all done. Because, oh, no, that's a lie. Right, okay, no. So we'll go through the rest of this pile and just split off the white ones. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll split off the white with the, yeah, whatever. You guys don't really care. This is just a ramble to make sure that my rambling is happening and I'm not leaving dead airspace basically. But really, even if you're like only half listening, go for it. Until the pop quiz tomorrow. No, there's no pop quizzes. Should have a pop quiz maybe. Well, yeah, no, we're not doing pop quizzes. Okay, apparently that's another lining that we have left over. Oh yeah, and all these can sit here with these as well. Nice pile of white linings. Okay, pause, 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 beige, 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 not pause. Actually, so all the not pause should go back there. That does actually make sense. There'll probably be a couple mixed in there and I will regret it, but you know what? At least I thought of it at some point before I fully committed. Like how it's not pause. Because there's like... Okay. That looks like we at least have the majority, if not all, of it. And especially that we have all the white. Yeah, I'm going to call that good. Okay. So it looks like we've about sets of 4. Actually, let's do a set of 2, 3. Oh, right, because I can only do 4 layers of canvas at a time. So 4 makes sense. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And there's 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever, just do 5. Because we can at least do the exteriors together, even if we can't do the rest of it together. Okay, so these 2 stay together at least. The paws and the webbing. And then, and if we do a little bit of like finagling where as in these guys go first, then we're a little bit better off. Okay, so I can actually do the width cuts with the interiors as well at the same time. And then we'll do the canvas cuts afterwards because the canvas is thicker and I just don't feel like dealing with it all the time right away. No, stay out of it. Don't wreck the very precarious pile, cat. If you're too much of a pest, you gotta go out. Okay. But yeah, we can do the exteriors and the interiors at least for their width cuts. So they all need to be the same width, and at least then they get cut down a little bit. Okay, and then, all right, I don't want the selvage on the majority of these to be this side because they'll get sewn into the drawstring because I find that's the least disruptive area for it. Okay. Where did your lining go? Thank you. Nope. Where's the disconnected lining? And this is where the system starts to fall apart already. Because where's the canvas for the black cats as well? Oh, I really like these bags. I know, they make really good bags. He's down in the bag for the scraps now. So it's not like he lacks for fabric piles to sleep on in here. He's just been wanting to be like in my space the last few days, which I hope he's feeling okay. Yeah, we're gonna assume he's feeling okay. He's not showing any other signs of being like not okay. But yes, they totally do make the best sleeping piles. But no. It's more just that he will also lay right there, and then his tail will come out, and then he'll be like have his tail in the path of the rotary cutter. None of us need to deal with a cat with a cut tail. Seriously, can you imagine? Again, no emergency vet visits this year, please. Nope, that is not a start of a new bug. Please don't be the start of a new bug. The kids have actually not been sick this week, surprisingly. I guess after the last round of like, we're going to be sick for like 3 to 4 weeks. They're finally like, okay, let's ease up on this. Probably get hit by something in like 2 weeks. Please not. Knock on wood, I don't. Alright. Get these evened up. Oh, it's chalk. Okay, I'm like, what is on this fabric? But it's chalk, it's fine. Okay. Phew. Alright. It's just like bright yellow against the white fabric, so I'm like, I was very concerned for a minute about what was actually here, obviously. Okay. That is obviously not even, so there we go. I'll just make sure. Oh, it's crooked. Lovely. Okay, good. That's why we're squaring this up, is because it's like then there's less issues when we actually go to sew this again. This is just all prep work to make the sewing go faster, right? It does kind of feel like I should just call it and be like, okay, random selection, that's it. But I feel like if I do all this prep work, we're going to be able to crank through quite a few of these next week, I hope. Also going to be a little bit like when, as soon as Dawson is home, it's like, all right, the kids are yours. Bye. I'll see you on Friday. That's totally what I should do, right? I think it's fair. And the only reason I'll see him on Friday is we have to pack the truck, and I got to go for my run, actually. I have a 12-mile run on Friday. Ugh. Although I did 11 miles the other day, and I remember 11 miles being like the most brutal run I'd ever done. Because it was. It was actually the longest one. At one point last summer, 11 miles was the most I'd ever run while I interval. So I do a run-walk cycle. Anyway, small differences. But last week, actually, it was still brutal. I'm not going to lie. But it is nearly a half marathon, and it was like I didn't really start hurting until about 10 miles, with a half being like 13. So that wasn't bad, considering that I've been very lackadaisical about my training this cycle. I'm happy with that. All right. We're going to trim down to there, which means that needs to line up there. And then we'll just make sure that I'm lined up here again. Good. All right, so this, I'm doing this right now instead of trimming it down once it's sewn, because this will help with the lining actually being able to be dropped into the Kato correctly. There we go. And actually, that is a better setup for, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Kinda, not really, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm muttering to myself because I'm like, that's a better setup for like cutting the drawstrings, but I want to cut down the, I want to cut them down in length before I cut them down in width. So realistically, I could cut it here, but then that's a waste of fabric, because if I cut it the other way, then I get this nice chunk that we can figure out what to do with later, because I totally have a plan for them. I don't have a plan for them. Although I think they'll be the start of, like, I think because they're uniform size and stuff like that, they'll be the starts, the seed fabric, if you will, for those things. Book cozies, book sleeves, whatever you want to call them. Book cozies. I like book cozy better. I vote to name them book cozies, because that would also match my cake cozy vibe. They're technically called book sleeves, but I think book cozy just sounds cozier. I like how I have this plan for like patchwork book sleeves, and it's like I'm not even being able to take action on them yet because I need to get new interfacing. New interfacing's expensive, especially when it's like 10 yard, and basically each yard is about $13 right now, even on the cheap end of it. Should email the supplier again and find out what their wholesale costs are, actually. That would be a smart move. But it does feel like all of the supply, they're not bills because I don't have to pay them, but like all the supply purchases, there we go, always end up happening around the same time. It's like, oh, you're out of webbing. Oh, you're out of D-rings. Oh, you're out of lining. Oh, you're out of pockets. Not quite out of pockets, but I'm close enough that we're ordering pocket material anyway. You're out of canvas. It's like, we just ran out of interfacing. One step forward, 2 steps back. Not really. It's just like, really? Come on. Give me a break. I want to get my money together so I can go back to Japan for more exterior fabrics, not this boring lining stuff. Actually, one of the things I was thinking about today, and I don't know why I've never thought to do this before, is, well, I think I did a few years ago, and then everything went sideways. Children. World stuff, obviously. Anyway, okay, I 100% had 2 air erasing markers up there, and one has disappeared, so yay. Anyway, the brainwave that I had today was waxed canvas exteriors with a Japanese fabric interior purse. And then I was like, ooh, a waxed canvas Kato exterior with a Japanese fabric interior. So that was a rabbit hole that I wholeheartedly dove into for a little bit this morning to like figure out who wasn't going to charge me an arm and a leg for waxed canvas. I think the supplier that I'm actually getting my current canvas from is going to be the winner for now. They got fairly muted colors, but realistically that's fine. And I know we don't have to please everyone, but I do know that there is a subset of people who would prefer the fun lining versus it being the exterior. So there we go, right? And there's a lot of, the bigger push for me is that there's a lot of patterns that I want to make, but I look at it and I'm like, well, that's not going to work very well for like just how it's constructed. It'll obstruct the Japanese fabric, or it'll like, it just doesn't showcase it well, or whatever the case is. So it'll allow me to do some of those bags that I'm like, I really want to do them. I think they would be a good use, or a good growth item, skills growth, and I wanna. I wanna. That's the reason I want to make them. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, now I think we're going to go in and I will cut. No, these guys get cut a little bit smaller than the exteriors, just because then when I fold over the actual like no raw edges edge, I get to do what? What do I get to do? Oh, I don't have to worry about it as much being folded in exactly right to fit into the so that fits the top of the Kato. There we go. Those are the words. Ugh. Ugh. Math is easier from here. Okay, I am going to clean up this end a little bit, just because it's like I may as well. We're already cutting them down. Again, it makes it easier to sew because there's not a bunch of threads in my way to obstruct my view. Go. And then we're going to cut down that side. So we're going to cut it down to, so that's the width of the bag. We're going to bring it in a 1/2 inch. Because why not? Actually, we're going to bring it in a 1/4 inch. There we go. That makes me feel better. Okay. And then there's that little pile of stuff. And then we're going to also do a, excellent. I'm going to actually square these guys up a little tick up here. So I'm pretty sure I lined everything up to this edge. It felt like it with that cut. Yes. Now, I was moaning about this, that I could shear them in half, but what we do, this ruler is exactly the drawstring channel width. I'm just going to double check to make sure that, okay, these two are not quite the right width. Oh, 3 of them are not quite the right width. And that's why cutting them in half sometimes is just better. Fine, we'll just cut them in half. Anyway, the ruler, when these fabrics cooperate, is exactly the drawstring channel width. And so when I can do it, I just trim right up the middle. I think that would have worked with 2 out of the 5 fabrics. So instead, we're just going to trim everything in half with the shears because we can. These ones are super cute because it's just like just the cats. So just cats. Just cats. Doing cat things. Not even really cat things. They're just like kind of standing around. Staring off into space. This one's cute because it's a little market. French market trucks. With cats and dogs. Mostly cats. This one's cute because it's okay, we're going to make this work with the Shiba in there. But it's cute because it's black cats with strawberries, and then there's the Shiba Inu with the retro signs on the interior. I will split these up so that they're split up. And then we're going to carefully put these back into the pile with their respective pockets and D-rings and all that jazz. And actually, no, we're going to do the canvas, and then we're going to do that. That's right. All right. So the canvas needs to be squared up. Math is easier from there. Needs to be squared, or it needs to be cut down to the width it needs to be, because it is not cut to the width that it needs to be. Things wandered a little bit while I was cutting it the other night, and I just went with it because it kept the fabric a little bit more square or whatever. Again, this is something that I would normally do when I'm sitting at the sewing table, but here's the thing. We are cutting out the wedges now as well, and if this is not accurate, the wedges are not accurate, and I really don't want to be sitting at my sewing desk having cat problems because I didn't just do this work now. Does this mean that I will probably get fewer done for piece fiber? I don't know. Maybe I'll get more done because I've been more diligent. Who knows? We won't know until Friday. Actually, we won't know ever because I'm doing this work instead of just saying F it and going and sitting at my sewing machine and sewing. So who knows? We'll see. Alright, that's most of the layers in that first cut. I think it's so tall. My rotary cutter didn't even like hit the bottom because it was running across the acrylic ruler. Alright, there we go. I do not need those pieces, but I do not want to throw them on the cat. Damn it. Fine. Okay, that top there needs to be trimmed down. Quite a few of them need to be trimmed down. Alright. How did you get too wide? I was much more careful about the width of them because you can only fit so many on the width of the fabric. I wasn't as careful about the height because once I got the black canvas actually rolled out, I saw that I had enough to make all the, well, it was pretty close, but I was pretty sure I had enough to make all the Kato. Okay. There we go. Good enough. That was a necessary cleanup at least. Get that little bumpity bump bump. Sweet. Alright. There and there and there. And that and that. Now, I can only cut through 4 layers with the shears, so we will be marking every 2 layers with the chalk. Where'd the chalk disappear to? Hello, chalk. There you are. One. Actually, I think we have 5 here, right? So we might attempt the 3. I could do it with the rotary cutter, but the problem is that then I tend to overcut, or it's very easy to overcut with the rotary cutter. Actually, what I could do is I could do 5 and 5 layers. That's what we'll do. Okay, let's test that out with this one. I think I'll probably nope out, but who knows? No, it works. Barely. You definitely don't want to do 6. I guess the question is actually, ooh, I just realized that like if I'm ordering waxed canvas, so I'm going to be very limited in my color palette of waxed canvas because there's minimum orders with this company. So actually I need to get the pattern first. Plan out. Oh, that one did not cut very well. Oh, you're just shimmied. Never mind. It's fine. We're fine. It's all good. Okay. Anyway, the company that I order the canvas through currently has minimum quantities, and that minimum quantity I think is 10 to 15 meters. Most of them are 15 meters. So I should check with my other supplier out of Winnipeg and see, because the new supplier out of Montreal has been really good overall. But that's not going to work either. Okay. Shears it is. The rotary cutter cuts easier, but the shears cut more accurate. Don't shove the fabric around all over the place. Okay, there we go. goes over there. This flippy flips here. Trim it down. Prep work makes sewing easier, right? Right? This is all be worth it, right? I just want to go sew. Because here's the thing, we still have to do interfacing. Still have to cut and adhere interfacing. Oh well, if they don't get done for piece, they'll get done for the crochet retreat. Okay, those packages are actually coming together nicely. I'm not clipping the interior to them because they're all just going in the white pile, so that's not a big deal. Apparently I am now missing a piece of canvas. How does that happen? How do these things happen? Where did one piece of canvas go? What the actual F? 1, 2, 1, 2. 1. One, 2. I would have had to have a second piece for 1, 2. 1, 2. Did it get clipped in? Oh, it got clipped in with the gray. Okay. Crisis averted. Barely. Can you imagine if I'd lost a piece of canvas after all of this? Okay. Yeah, so I guess with waxed canvas, I'm gonna, if I need to do like a minimum order at the prices that it's at a much more reasonable price than other suppliers. But the thing is, you have to order in bulk. So that's the trade-off of it, obviously. But that means I'll probably be limited to like a couple, well, probably just black for the first little bit, considering how I am going mostly to just black even for regular canvas. Although they're purses, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. This one has already had its exterior cut down. Excellent. So we're going to even up. Yeah, we're going to just do this one as an individual. If I'd known that, we would have put it with the last pile, but that's okay. Okay, and then this can go on there as well. And then we'll even up its interior. Actually, yeah, and then we'll do the canvas. Do the canvas and the interior at the same time. This one is easy to do math from. Just need to be scooted over a little bit there because then I can like square off that edge on that side. May as well do the canvas at the same time because why not? It's not actually as far off as the other pieces, so that's pretty sweet. Alright, so apparently my measuring was not completely all over the place, just slightly all over the place the other night. Then it's going to be there and there. The lining is definitely not as... Oh, never mind. Still not quite, and still not that bad, but yeah, good thing I evened that up. Right now in this situation, since there's only the two pieces anyway, alright, what am I doing? Moving it back and forth. We can just trim up the bottom here. Right, because that's the right height. Momentary second guess. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sweet. Momentary second guessing, like, wait. Is this the right height? It better be. It is. It's fine. We're all good. We're good. Okay, and then we'll just go in and cut all of this at the same time. That's better. Like the bottom edges aren't matching up. And that's not how this should work. That is not showing up at all. Interesting. Okay. It's like it just like swallowed the air erasing marker. All right. I do not like Taylor's chalk that much. I have a massive box of it. Again, wholesale pricing. But yeah, it is not my favorite thing to use. I like those little chalk pens. But, yeah, could use them, I guess. But they do tend to kind of spray chalk everywhere. Sounds terrible. All right. So I guess I should probably decide on a day where it's like, okay, if this isn't interfaced by this day, it's not happening until later. So I think anything that is not interfaced by end of day on Monday, we're not even going to attempt to complete for peace. I think that's a fair. Oh, that's where some of the spare fabric came from, is apparently not everything had its fabric. But yeah, I think that is a fair, like, condition on this, just so I also actually get some done, because otherwise we're going to spend the whole week probably interfacing, which is fine, except that we're leaving for a show. So yeah, let's put that as the, like, line. Anything not interfaced by Monday night doesn't make the cut. Goes into the next round. Black and black. Which will mean that a lot of these animal prints get done, which is kind of nice, actually. That is already done, so it just needs its stuff. That this top drawstring very much needs an iron. Okay, sweet. So that is all the white lining fabric with paw. Oh, actually, I was saying that this one needs gold because they're the lucky cats. So let's get some gold for these guys. There we go. Rather than the black. The black does look good with the, like, black highlights. Actually, yeah, that is a good call because I just realized we still do need to do leather, and I am not doing leather right now. And we'll need to brand all the logos. So maybe anything not interfaced by Sunday night, because then on Monday we can start sewing. There we go. That's the better deadline cutoff. Because that'll also mean that I can have the full day on Monday when the kiddos are in school to, like, just batten down the hatches and go, basically. All right. So we're going to trim all of these and line up all the linings actually first. Then we're going to line up all the exteriors, and then we'll trim everything down to the right size. And then what are we going to do after that? And then we go on to the next set of stuff. Now I think part of what I'll do to mix it up is I will go in and we'll do, like, the next set of confetti or something like that. Because I see the strawberries down there. I'm trying not to be too, like, I'm trying to just let it be random about what I select, but I do think I need to lean a little bit away from the animal prints and, like, towards some of the other prints as well, because a little bit more variety never hurt anyone, I don't think. I don't know, maybe it did, but it's not going to hurt the bag sales. Where do these random pieces of canvas keep going? It's underneath. Why is it underneath? Bah, bah. Bah, bah. And then after peace, we can come in, finish the Kato, and then move on to the small box bags. And thankfully, even though I haven't cut the linings for the small box bags, I've got a bunch of small box bag linings underneath the table. So in the bin that was previously filled with small box bags. And actually I found a few other ones out in the sewing studio. Okay, we'll do that separate now because reasons. Okay, so if I line those two up, we can square up both these edges. These ones actually aren't that far off, which is awesome. I'm always pleased with them when they are far closer than other counterparts. Go like that. This way. Actually, I can't think of a reason that variety would hurt someone, but it's probably not fit to like repeat on the podcast. Live stream, whatever. Okay. I'll finish prepping these because they're already sitting here. So we'll do this and we'll do their wedge. And then we'll get them on the pile. Then we'll do the exteriors and then we'll do the canvas. If this bites me in the butt later, I don't know what to say. I don't at this point know what to say. I don't foresee it biting me in the butt, but there's always a way it could. I'm sure. Apparently cutting down that one actually caused, there we go, now it's even with the rest of them, just because it's obviously the top one that we're cutting, that we're using for the basis for the wedges, so we want them to match up as close as we can. There we go, okay. One and two. And 3 and 4. All right, 3 more exteriors to prep, and then canvas. Okay, so I know that I am under deadline, but that unfortunately does not mean that I can. If I were by myself and I had no other things to take care of besides myself and the cats, I would 100% be working later. However, I have a 6 a.m. alarm tomorrow, so, because kids go to school at 7:30, and I'm going to try my darndest to have them there by that point, because their field trip is going to disrupt the day as it is, and that's fine. This is not a begrudging thing, but it just is like has to be in the plans. So I think I'm actually going to call it after we get this set done. Is that what I'm going to do? Or am I going to be crazy and go in, not crazy, but like, am I going to actually go in and maybe, okay, actually no, what I'm going to do, we're going to finish cutting here, and then I'm going to go in to these piles and sort them into the actual white and beige linings, and then I'm going to white, beige, and pocket, because then at least that helps take care of some of the administrati on the other side when I go to sew them, because then at least their linings and pockets will line up. That actually does make sense. I think that rambling makes sense. So that's what we'll spend a little bit of time doing after this set. And then I don't have to do it later. I may do, depending on how quickly I do get my butt into the gym and for my run tomorrow, I might do some work off camera. And then this weekend I need to wrap on my taxes, actually. I just remembered that. As best I can, at least. So that deadline might move out, actually, for the interfacing. We'll see how the cutting goes tomorrow as well, because basically I will pick the kids up, drop them back off at school, and then I am going to come straight home and we're going to work our butt off, my butt off, getting these bags prepped. But that'll also make these piles more manageable, because honestly, they're a little bit of a teetering mess right now. So, you know, that's not a bad thing either. All right. So from there, and then we are doing a little bit shorter than the width of the bags, just for my sake. And I'm going to do right here, like that. Then we're going to go zip. And then we're going to cut these down. I know that that line is good there. Actually, how wide is this one? It's still not wide enough. It's too much math. It's too much math. Cat problems, but it's too much math. So we're just going to shears them down the middle. Alright, so there are obviously still going to be a lot of amazing, even with this like whole random toss-up of what even is going to be finished. There's going to be a nice like amount of very different bags, and that's part of why we will also go in and make selection. Well, we're not going to make selections, but I'm going to sort the piles so that we kind of see what's going to maybe potentially possibly make the cut for Dawson. That one is wide enough. Spec. Yeah, I love it when it works this way. And then you can just, because that's the right, and then, very nice. I love it. All right. So this one goes here. And then that one's already done. That one is one of the Shiba Inus. And then this is the other Shiba Inu. And then we're going to sort this massive pile out. Okay, so I know that the pile down here is beige with blue, with the paws. And then we've got beige with confetti, white with confetti. So we'll do those next. Beige with confetti. I really do want to get these strawberries done. Beige with confetti. This is a random one that came up. It is actually mostly finished, so I think we do a good push on it to try and get it finished. It's just randomly in here. I don't know, man. Actually, this one we're just going to throw on the sew pile, because then I'll trim out those wedges when I'm sitting at the sewing desk. As much as I said, I'm like, I'm not doing that at the sewing desk. We'll do that one at the sewing desk. That's fine. Whatever. It's okay. I'll deal. Oh, shoot. We're supposed to do those canvases. That's okay. Well, damn it. Do that canvas as okay, sorry. Before you forget. Murmur. Getting too excited about moving on. Alright, let's get the canvases trimmed up here so that the bases are done. Oh, come on. It's like, I don't wanna. Why would I? I'm fabric. I have a mind of my own. Obviously. Okay. Sometimes, like, this will help settle it. Sometimes, mostly, a lot of times it doesn't. It just doesn't matter. Okay. Trim down the edge. No big deal. That should go in the cat bag. Instead, they're going to go on the floor. And then we're going to go in and we're going to mark the edge that we need to box. Like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This will be 3, 4. I don't know why I keep counting them before I actually do them. 3, 4. Alright. Then what did we decide? That like 5 was the sweet spot. But there's only like, there's 6 here. So we're going to do 3 layers and 3 layers. Whatever. No big deal. There we go. Oh, that's much more pleasant on my hand and my shears and the canvas. So 3 might be the sweet spot. If we did 6 bags, that would be 4 layers of canvas to cut. Okay. And actually we'll flip that and then we can pop it on top. Flippy flippy this on top afterwards. There we go. Okay. Oh man, switching to just black canvas means that I'll just be able to sit down, cut everything to width, cut the wedges, just leave it in a pile, and I won't have to like do this distribution. It'll just all be black canvas. That is going to be glorious. That's what that excited noise was about. It's going to be glorious. All right, canvas for those ones that we just sorted is done and dusted. I'm gonna just pop it underneath because it's gonna be obvious what they're for, and then we're gonna sort. So beige blue marble, beige confetti, white confetti. And white confetti means it's a white background anyway, but white means that the lining is white and then it has the confetti for pockets. Beige blue. Ooh, okay. Already got all 3 left. White confetti. White confetti. White marble. All right, so we need to start another pile right there for now. Beige marble, same as the strawberries. White confetti. White confetti. I was like, how'd these get so mixed up? But webbing. So yeah, so the last thing I should do is I should do webbing last, because then I can do all this other prep work before we do the, this is white blue, very bright blue, before like we hit this point. Beige confetti, white confetti. White confetti. White marble. Beige marble. Ook. Zip. Pop. Okay. Beige marble. And actually splitting these up into these different piles like this helps make it look like less work. The like optical illusion for me is that it's less work. It's not less work. This actually just makes more work. But you know what I mean? Sometimes chunking it makes it look more achievable, even if it's still going to take you the same amount of time or more, because you keep resorting it into different little chunks. Ask me how I know. Oh boy. Beige confetti. Beige blue. Actually, there's not very many beige blues. So that's kind of cool. White blue marble. White confetti. Now the question is which pile do we tackle first? Beige confetti. That wasn't the answer. That was just me talking to myself to make sure I got it in the right pile. I am leaning towards, I think we should do, beige confetti. Mostly because it's got a lot of my, like, utmost favorites right now in it. I don't know. That decision will probably change tomorrow. Because who knows? Who knows what I'll be feeling like tomorrow? Maybe we'll end up doing the rest of the cat and dog prints. I don't think so. I think choosing a different pile. That's a very satisfying chiming. I like it. That's itching some sort of good brain scratch tonight. Excellent. All right. Beige confetti. Beige confetti. White confetti. Now we're getting into the scraps that I threw over here instead of throwing on the cat. White confetti with extra fabric. Okay, almost through this pile. Sweet. White blue. Where did I put white blue? White blue. White blue. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, white blue can go there because maybe I didn't have a white blue yet, although I swear I did. Whatever. White confetti. White confetti. White confetti. White confetti. Okay, well, there's a good chunk of them sorted. Now we just got the ones on the steam press here. And then we'll have a better idea of... Oh, no. I just popped some stuff off. All right. Just popped off some D-ring tabs. Because the snaps were like, I give up. I'm done. See you later. I did whatever. All right. Beige confetti. And now I'm like, where does the pile that I just pulled down end? And where does the sort pile begin? We're almost there. I think that's the last couple bags that weren't sorted yet. Yep. Because then that goes over there. This is the beige confetti pile. You are white or beige? Beige. Okay. Beige blue, which is here. White confetti. There's another. Oh, there's those other two white paw prints. We're done. Processing. I don't know yet. White blue. Beige marble. Beige marble. And then beige confetti. White confetti. Oops. That is the D-ring tabs right there, along with its canvas. White confetti, white confetti, white confetti, white confetti. Let's just clip you to those couple of layers, and then we'll get one to hold all the layers. Go white confetti. White marble. Just over here. That's actually 2 bags there. Do you still have your canvas? You are missing your canvases. I swear I paired these up with gray, so they're probably on the cutting table here somewhere. But that's an easy way to pair it down. All right, white, blue, white, blue. And there is an extra lining, which probably goes with them as well. Okay, and then bum bum bum. Okay, so seeing this, we're gonna do white, blue, and beige confetti tomorrow, for sure. We'll start there. Then we're going to do beige, blue, Actually, let's do white, blue, and beige blue because there's very few of them and there's some really good prints in there. White, blue, beige confetti. Okay. And then we'll do marble white because there's also some very good prints in there. Start there. And then we're going to do white confetti and beige marble. And try and figure out where the canvas bottoms for those chocolate bar bags went. Like, oh, and then there's all the beige. Don't worry, there's still more. They're just like down in the bin down here. We're going to ignore them for now. But there's totally all the beige with the paw prints down there. So yeah, I think calling it at whatever we can get. So for what we can cut, what time is it? 2 hours and 10 minutes. And we got through a good chunk. So I think if we can sit down and do more work for about 4 to 5 hours tomorrow, we can actually get through probably the majority of these. And then whatever gets its interfacing cut and interfaced by Sunday is what makes the cut for this round of production. And then whatever's left is just gets rolled over into the next production round, which will be like right at the beginning of May. Dallas is home for May, so I'll be able to actually, I'm going to, well, we got a lot of housework stuff to do. So I think on the days that the kids are at school, we'll probably do that, and then I'll take some extra days to do stuff. It's a busy month with birthdays and things like that though too, so who knows. I'm not going to make plans for that right now. But anyway, now they're all divided up. Makes sense to me because pockets match the linings, blah blah blah. Be a little bit easier to keep track of here as we transition back out to the sewing studio. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining me and listening to like these really very random live stream of consciousness things. I don't even know what to call them. I will be back on tomorrow, but I will be back on after lunch, Mountain Time. So probably about 12:30 to 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Currently, if you need a frame of reference, it's about 20 to midnight right now. But I do need to go to bed because I'm fading and I need to be up in the morning. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic night and I will chat with you all soon. Bye.